Hello and welcome. Today we've got Diny and Rachel from the Control Group Cooperative. And today they are going to be discussing all of the studies they've been doing with the Jabadoos. Now, just before we begin, you can subscribe to our Telegram channels and to nicholasveniamin.com for my free email updates. And if you're watching this for the first time on YouTube, I will leave the link below in the description for the full interview, unless, of course, myself and the guests can choose our words wisely due to the insane censorship that's happening right now. Diny and Rachel, thank you for joining me. How are you and what have you been up to? We'll go with Diny first.
Hi, Nicholas, thank you. I'm good. So we are a worldwide study of that shall not be named.
Yeah.
The health outcomes of those who have not taken that shall not be named.
Absolutely. Do you know what? Let's call it the V. Okay. I know. I'm just going to let the viewers know that myself and Rachel and Diny had a long discussion about what words we can use and what words we can't use, because it's all well and good uploading on BitChute and Rumble, but we want to reach out to people who are asleep, and those people don't even know what BitChute and Rumble is. So I do understand it's quite difficult. So what we do is we'll call it the V. How about that? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Rachel, how about yourself? How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. We've been awfully busy. We started this about 8 months ago, so we've just started to take out our first load of data over the last few days. So we're really excited about being able to share that with everyone soon.
Fantastic. So let's dive into it. So I'm going to let you guys actually do a short presentation, and then I'm just going to listen to you both, and I will just take some notes as I'm listening to you. How about that?
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Start where we began then.
Yeah.
How we started and then.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Do you want to do that bit?
Okay. Okay. So at the beginning of last year, really, when people like us who had chosen not to take the V were jokingly saying that we are the control all over Twitter, myself and a few other people said, well, why don't we actually become a control group? And sort of jokingly talked about it. And actually, Des, the other part of this, is a data developer. And we'd said, well, why don't we create an actual database for it? And sort of talked about it more and decided that actually, yeah, we'd do that. We'd do a worldwide study of the health outcomes of everyone who hadn't taken the, you know what. Rachel, we met at a stand in the park. And got talking to her, and I'll let Rachel tell you about herself in a minute, but we asked her to join us and got it started properly. So I'll let you take it from that point.
Yeah, fine. So I was actually a nurse in an A&E department when the lockdowns and everything started, and basically found the emergency department to be very quiet when I was actually expecting the opposite. So we got told that we would have an influx of unwell patients, and we'd be struggling a lot. And in fact, it was the opposite, and it was extremely quiet. So something didn't add up for me, and I walked away from my job for temporarily while I got my head together and started realizing what we were being told wasn't in fact the truth. And I started attending Stand in the Parks, which is a UK meetup for people like us. So that's when I met Diny and heard about the idea for the control group and couldn't wait to be involved, really. So from there, we created the questionnaire and the website, and went from there, really. And that was 8 months ago.
But I will point out that we are simply a citizen movement. We're a cooperative. So we started off in the cooperative movement. We created a local cooperative, and we turned this into a cooperative. So it's run by the people, for the people. It's completely and utterly self-funded. So we're not having any money from, the big people that plough the fields. And we are just ordinary mums who started this. We're all ordinary parents, and it was a bit of a crazy thing to do, to be honest, because we aren't people who've got experience of running big studies like this. But we decided no one else was doing it. We'd looked at all the scientists, no one had actually started it. And we had an awful lot of flack to begin with, a lot of suspicion, people thinking that we were just doing this to make money and all sorts. So actually, pretty much everyone joins for free. People can choose to subscribe and become an associate if they want to, but the majority of people are totally free. We've been going for about 8 months now. We started last July. And people were very suspicious about what we were doing. Our aim was that we would get doctors and health scientists and lawyers on board to help us to help those people who haven't taken the V in all aspects of their lives. We didn't get anyone to begin with. And then we've been working with a really good organisation who we're not allowed to mention at this present moment. We're 8 months down the line, and we've actually got 300,000 participants in 177 countries. We're talking to doctors and scientists all over the world. We've got a health scientist who actually spent the day with us yesterday looking at our data. Our data is incredible. They are going to be doing lots of stuff with it very shortly. We can't say anything about any of that yet because it's got to be put together, but it's amazing. And as well as doing the study, we've got the cards, which we decided very early on that it would be a really good idea if people had some sort of identification to show that they were part of this, because we know how lonely people around the world are. We felt it to begin with that, you think you're the only ones who hasn't taken this. And so we thought, you don't need to hide. You shouldn't be hiding, saying, oh, well, I haven't. Yeah. We wanted everyone to stand up and say, I haven't taken this, and it's a full and valid choice. We've got really good reasons. There's many and varied. And incidentally, most of the people in our database, at least 50%, have had all their childhood and others. So we're not, what they call us, the bad word that they call us. We're not those. Just people who've had questions about this. The card, though it does say on it, must not be, we put that in there for children because we thought that's it. Children can be coerced in school. And we were really concerned. We felt this was just a little shield that, when someone's saying you really must, they can go, actually, I can't. This says I can't. Yeah. It just gives them that little bit of extra protection. But actually, that's taken off in rather a big way. But the other side of what we're doing, and I'll let Rachel tell you all about that, is the community stuff.
Yeah. So we've got a huge community growing. As Diny said, we've got 300,000 participants worldwide in 177 countries. So a lot of that community has joined us on Telegram, and we've got around 40 groups, and that grows quite a lot. We just created a new group yesterday, didn't we? But we're creating new groups all the time for, country specific, language specific, occupation specific. We've got a group for parents, just a kindness group where people can go and just get support and feel like they're not alone. So we've got a huge community. We also do regular Zoom calls for them. So we get a lot out of that ourselves. It's amazing, just meeting people from all over the world and hearing their stories and what an impact this has had on many, many people. So we do them regularly every week, and we do a Q&A Zoom once a month just to answer questions about the study, really. We've got a huge number of people joining us. We've also set up some community networks. So these are groups of, for example, we've got an Italy country network set up at the moment, and that consists of a doctor, some legal people, group of professionals really that thought what we were doing was incredible and wanted to support us more in their own country. So where we only speak English, it's difficult to get the translation across in lots of different countries to people who aren't English speaking. So people in their country networks are setting up ways they can support people to join, ways they can support people to fill in the questionnaire if they don't quite understand what we're asking of them, and also to remind them to come back in and update their data regularly, because that's what we need to show. So we've got an incredible community that's growing from this. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's incredible.
Wow. That's really amazing. No, thank you so much for sharing that. So talk to me a little bit about this card. I got one as well. Horrible picture of me, by the way. But explain to me More about how this benefits someone, when they would use it, the QR code on there. If you could tell us more in detail, more about how to use this card and how it benefits per person, the person that holds this.
Yeah. So, well, first of all, we've got to say very clearly the card is not an exempt. Am I allowed to say that word?
Yeah. Exemption is fine.
Okay. The card is not an exemption. It was never designed to be one. It's never designed to look like a fake pass either. And these are things that people have accused us of. It was designed to look totally different to any of those. Because it's purely designed to be a card of visibility. It's meant to be a way to join everyone together, and to be able to stand up and say, look, this is me. I haven't taken this. And, I'm confident with my decision. I'm proud of it. But we also did say that, when someone goes somewhere and they ask for a pass of some sort, show it to them as a way of saying, look, I'm proud of this. I don't need that. I've got this. What we didn't expect was that people would be allowed in.
Yeah.
And it would be treated as an exemption.
It's been incredible. We set up a group on Telegram again called Card Success Stories, just to document how people have used the card successfully. And there's thousands of stories on there. People have been able to enter, so many services that they would be turned away from, restaurants in certain countries. Some people have kept their employment. Some people have travelled with it. So it's actually amazing, and we didn't expect that.
And it's even worked in Germany and Australia and New Zealand.
Wow.
In Asia, it works amazingly. But we also do. Oh, sorry, you got to.
I was just going to say about the QR. So, what was I going to say? So basically, if you're a paying subscriber and associate, you'll receive a card, and you can have up to 8 cards come to you and your family in the post for paying. But everyone, like Diny said, everyone gets a digital pass if they sign up for free. So that's what you were talking about. You can log in online basically and show your digital pass without actually having a card. The card has a QR code on which is scanned. So it obviously doesn't work with official scanners as such if somebody's asking to scan an official ID. But it depends how you use it. So somebody could say, I'm part of an international study, please use your mobile phone, or they can use their own mobile phone to scan it to show them. And once you scan, you get a picture, which we've told is actually really successful just because it's got a green tick on it. Yeah. So many people have just asked, has this person got a green tick? And when they say yes, they've got a green tick of some sort, they let them through airports and stuff. So that's been incredible. But on there, there's, the Nuremberg Code. It asks you not to discriminate the person based on their medical choices. It's got the flags that we're continually adding to when we're asked of all the countries that we've got in the study. But yeah, loads of information on there. And it kind of backs up the person using the card can say, look, if you're going to discriminate me based on my medical choices, then I'm actually asked by the study to report that. So there's a section in our website where they can go in and report the discrimination, report the person that's discriminated against them to hopefully use in the future in some way.
That's amazing. Sorry, Lindy. Diny, sorry. Sorry.
I can say as well as the cards, what we also do are participation letters. And this is something else that has been actually massively successful too. Yeah. People were asking us for it, just a letter that said that they were a participant in our study. And we created one, we had a doctor sign it, and I've signed it as well. It's simply a letter that says this person is a member of this study, they're participating in this and willingly giving their health data. Please treat them well, and they're doing a great thing, and don't discriminate against them. So it's a very straightforward letter, and people can download this from the website once they're logged in. We've got it in multiple languages. In fact, we've got the card in how many languages?
Quite a lot. I don't know.
It must be about 15 different languages as people translate them for us. We've had amazing people online translate them. So we've got things in all sorts of different languages. But the participation letters have actually been really useful for people in their jobs. A lot of people have reported they've been able to keep their job because of this letter. Yeah, which is just, it's blown us away. We're just a couple of mums that have, actually managing to
I'm blown away.
Right.
I mean, I've had this card for a long time now, for 8 months now, almost. And I've never known you've had this level of achievement. And I think it's fantastic. I think you ladies are heroes. And I think that's really good. Well done. That's a great achievement,
Thank you.
because, you it's got like an authority approval in a indirect way by getting those academic studies together, by, printing out these cards that look good with the QR code, and having doctors verify it. And I think it's really good. And you've got a database and you've collected, and just the fact that people have ordered these, that in itself is like a protest.
Yeah.
Okay. Which is great. It goes to show what people stand for. And I think that's really important. Wow. So what's, I want to ask you, what's the study that you've carried out throughout your journey that's shocked you the most? I'm just going to leave that for both of you to decide who wants to answer that.
I don't quite get what you mean. We've got one study currently, but we've got multiple people wanting to join to add further studies in. But at the moment, we have one database that asks you your health, basically. So up until now, what's the baseline of your health? Are you on any medications? Are you unwell at all? And then we collect that as the baseline, and then we can go forward and see how their health fares against the other people that have taken. But we started with a winter questionnaire last October, was it? We started that. So we've run that for 6 months, and we're hoping to continue with that now. But that's more specific related questions regarding what's happening.
Right. So you're collecting like a database. Are you doing any like medical studies on this?
I wouldn't say medical.
Okay.
But we're asking a lot about what we're trying to find out is whether those who haven't taken the V, what they're doing, how they're faring, and do they survive? Because obviously we're all supposed to, drop dead. So we ask questions. So our monthly health questionnaire asks some very specific questions about have you worn a one of those ever? How often? Have you had any of the up the nose thingies and up the throat thingies? I don't know if I'm allowed to say the words.
Yeah, that's fine. Everybody knows. That's fine.
Okay. So we find out the people who've had those, who've never had them, the people who are taking all sorts of supplements to keep their health well, what sort of things they're doing.
And again, like I mentioned earlier, if they've been discriminated or if their job's been affected, also if they feel like they're a threat, as from the state or from others, general questions like that, and more specific ones. And we ask if they've had the illness, if their family have had it, if they're living with other people who've had the what. Mm-hmm. So we build up a really good picture of their health, and specifically over this winter period, because this has been the first period where there's been lots of the what's put in people. So we're trying to see, what the difference is about them. So we ask for them to register any health event that they have. So if they have, some sort of vascular event or cardiac event, they'll put it in there. So we can really look at fertility as well. We look at pregnancy, menstruation we ask about. Really everything we ask about that is comparable with what might be in the other system.
So from all this data you've gathered from asking questions, you must see a pattern here. And this pattern says the whole thing was illegal.
We can't say what the results
your opinion.
Actually, personally, we haven't seen many results up until now. So like I said earlier, we've just started to look at the data now. We've got a good amount of people coming regularly and updating their data every month, which is what we need. We really need consistency. So we need people to come in every single month and update for us, because we can't use their data otherwise. So like we said earlier, we had a health scientist look at our data with us yesterday, and they'll be putting out some results very soon. But we can't really say much until that point, but we're really excited by it, and it's some very, very interesting data.
Yeah, actually, the geographical spread's quite interesting.
Sorry, say that
geographical
again.
Spread is quite interesting.
Right. Well, yeah, absolutely. It's amazing. So once you've got all this data and you carry on getting more and you keep growing, and I'm sure you will. How do you believe this will be very valuable in the future?
It's going to be the picture of those who've not taken this thing compared with those who have. The picture of what health events are happening to us in comparison to what health events are happening to them, and what it will show. Obviously, it's unbiased. The study is only those who've not taken the but we're going to show whatever it shows, and if it shows that we're all dropping dead of the the illness as opposed to the other it will show it. If it shows we're all being really healthy, not getting ill, not using hospital services much, then it will show that too. And in fact, the health scientist has looked at it, and there's some really good clear data in it which they're going to be putting out there. But
in terms of the future, we've set this up to run for 30 years. Once you've had it, you can't take it away, and who knows what the effects will be years down the line. Your children's children might be infertile, for example. We just cannot tell, and this is the only way that we can attribute those effects. By having a control group is the only way that we can say that's caused that. So and because it's very important for the future.
Yeah. And because it's worldwide, we're not just one country, we're in 177 different countries. We want to be in all different countries in massive amounts. It will be able to show that the same thing is happening in the UK, in Malaysia, in Antarctica, in Greenland, in France, in Italy, everywhere. If you can show the same health outcomes for those of us who haven't had it in all these countries, it's going to be really, really powerful. And that's why we've got to get as many people as possible. We've got 300,000 so far in the 8 months that we've been going, but we need to get over 1 million because that's going to be irrefutable.
It's amazing, honestly. It's really good. I think you're doing a fantastic job with it. I recommend anyone that's got this, that you tell your friends and family who are still awaiting, who haven't taken the thing, to get one as well, and keep updating your details every month, so we can help these lovely ladies do, this great work. And, Rachel and Diny, it's been great having you both. Thank you for sharing that so much. And I will leave the link below in the description. Is there anything else that you'd like to say to the viewers before we finish? Diny, you can go first.
Oh, goodness. Actually, do you know what? To anyone who's already joined us, we are incredibly grateful because we've had so much help, so much trust, so much faith from people. It's just been wonderful.
And thank you to everyone that's entered their data in regularly. Without them, we wouldn't have a study. So, it's the people that have done this.
Yeah.
And I'd just like to say to anybody that's unsure or want to come and talk to us further, please join us on Telegram or join a Zoom and come and meet us properly and ask us whatever you like.
Yeah. Absolutely. Well, thank you very much. And we'll speak again sometime soon. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.